Hi guys, it's me again, Jesu, and welcome back to It's Analysis Time. So for the previous video we talked about the effective literary theory of the piece written by Joey Ayala, which is Walang Hanggang Paalam. And for this video today, we are going to have a textual analysis of the piece written by Emigdio Alvarez Enriquez, which is The White Horse of Alih. So, stay tuned! Let us first know the author of the story is Emigdio Alvarez Enriquez. Mig Alvarez Enriquez is a short story writer, novelist, and playwright born on 1925 in Zamboanga City. His short story began to appear in countless publications as early as 1939 and has won Palanca Awards in the year. His sample works are namely The Devil Flower and, of course, The White Horse of Alih. And now we are going through the textual analysis of The White Horse of Alih. But what is textual analysis? According to SAG research methods, textual analysis is a methodology that involves understanding language, symbols, and pictures present in text to gain information regarding how people make sense of and communicate life and life experiences. Visual, written, or spoken messages provide cues to way through which communication may be understood. For the textual analysis of The White Horse of Alih, let us first start with the literary elements. As we all know, literary elements are the parts and components of a literary text. And for the first element we will be having is the setting. The setting of The White Horse of Alih happened on July 4th in Zamboanga City during the American colonial time. Next is the characters. There are two types of characters: the dynamic and static. First off, dynamic. Dynamic in which the character can change roles throughout the story. And static, which means unchangeable or stable. For the first dynamic character in the story, we have Alih, a Moro and brother of Omar who plans for killing the people who were celebrating the Filipino-American Friendship Day. Next is Omar, brother of Alih, who manipulated and dictated his brother in certain things he wanted to happen. For the static characters, we have Imam, the village priest who tried to dissuade Omar and Alih. He told the brothers that it was not taught by the prophet to kill. Next, we have Lucy. Lucy was a little girl in the reservation across the river where the Americans lived. He was also Alih's childhood crush. And lastly, we have Fermina, the barmaid who was pretty, in which Alih likes her so much that his actions sent him to jail for 6 months. Next is summary. You can just pause the video since I'm just going to run down the summary part of the story since we will be having the plot too. So for the plot in chronological order, exposition. The story happened on July 4th in a city with a parade of people where Alih and Omar are planning to kill the people celebrating the Filipino-American Friendship Day. Next is the rising action. Alih saw Fermina in a float sitting and helped the lovely lady to go down when Omar arrived and was about to kill Fermina. Climax. By means of saving Fermina, Alih killed his own brother, Omar. Next is falling action. Alih escaped. His fate remains ambiguous. And lastly, the denouement. In the end, Alih decided that Fermina, the love of his life, is more important rather than his white horse. So for the point of view, the POV used by Enriquez was omniscient narrator or multiple points of view. The narrator is all-knowing. Next is the conflict. I have listed down 4 conflicts that were observed in the story. First off, we have man versus man. It was when Alih killed his own brother Omar. Second, we have man versus himself, where both Alih and Omar were hesitant of killing the people for they were scared. Third, man versus circumstances. the grief of Alih and Omar's death of their father, and lastly, man versus society, where Alih and Omar against the non-Moro villagers. And for the theme used in the story, the White Horse of Alih tells about the tradition, faith, and belief of the Filipinos through literary approaches like historical approach. Racial discrimination was also observed as well as discrimination based on religion. And now let's move on with the literary techniques used in the story. We all know that literary techniques are the use of specific and deliberate construction of language to convey meaning, but it is not necessary to be present. So for the White Horse of Alih, we have simile. Simile is comparing two unlike objects using as or like. And so I've picked 8 examples found in the story. The first one is found in the first paragraph, which states, Alih moved along with the crowd, which flowed like a river to the edge of the town where the big parade was to wind up. The next is found on the 8th paragraph. Or would she have brown eyes and corn silk hair like the wives of the Americans who lived in the big houses across the river? The third one found in the 11th paragraph. His voice rang in Alih's ear like a shell, horn sending signals to the sailboats on the sea, faint and steady, pleading, not compelling. The fourth, it is found in the 13th paragraph. His hunger was like an octopus in his middle, extending tentacles to his throat, to his limbs, to his brain. Next is found on the 14th paragraph. The band going by made uproarious sound like the rattling of the empty cans. 19th paragraph states, and his horse would have wings like the horse on the billboards at the gas station near the ice plant just outside the town. 26 states, he felt very light, like a piece of cotton in the air. And lastly, the 31st paragraph states, the black of Omar's eyes had closed to points like heads of the pins when he told him the story. The next literary technique used in the story is repetition. Repetition repeats the same words or phrase a few times to make an idea clearer and more memorable. A good example is found in the 20th paragraph. Omar had shouted at him every time he came close to a horse, "It will kick you! It will kick you!" Next, we have imagery. Imagery helps the reader to visualize more realistically the author's writings. So in the story White Horse of Alih, almost all parts of the story has imagery. But to shorten up, I have chosen the 5th paragraph. It states, the heat beat down on him and drew the sweat from the pores of his lean and hard body. Looking the right cotton shirt he wore, when he came to an acacia tree spreading its branches across the ditch on the roadside, he broke out of the crowd and took refuge in its shade. Fourth literary technique used by Enriquez is flashback. Flashback depicts occurrence of specific events to the reader, which have taken place before the present time. For my example, I have chosen the 21st paragraph. If he had only learned to mount, all he had ever ridden was a wooden horse in the merry-go-round. An expression of joy mixed with the pain swept across his face. He had ridden beside Lucy. Lucy was this little girl in the reservation across the river where the Americans lived. She was all white and pink and gold, like the dolls in the cardboard boxes on the shelves in the Japanese toy stores in the town. He had come upon her one morning in the guava bush where she was playing with some shells. And the next example is found on the 33rd paragraph. Alih had just come in from a smoke, and to watch Fermina, the barmaid, she was pretty and good to watch. Besides the mole on the corner of her mouth, her eyes were big and alive, and when she smiled, her teeth showed white like coconut meat. He had not meant to bother her, but Omar was at the table in a corner looking at him through rings of smoke across a pile of bottles and glasses. And for the last literary technique used, we have situational irony. It is actually part of the 3 types of irony, which are verbal, situational, and dramatic. Situational Irony occurs when actions or events have the opposite result from what is expected or what is intended. So for my example, it is found in the 53rd paragraph. It was when that a strong hand reached out from behind him and clapped him on the shoulder. He turned again, and a trembling as of the earth when many guns were firing seized him. It was his brother Omar. His face was dark and shining with sweat. His feet were unsteady, and on his breath was the unmistakable smell of the native drink, the tubak, he had been drinking. To wrap our video for today, you know what time it is? It's analysis time! And so for the analysis of The White Horse of Alih, written by Emigdio Alvarez Enriquez, it is a tale that examines racial and religion-based discrimination. It began when the two siblings, Alih and Omar, attempted to murder the people in the city. It confuses Alih whether or not he is going to do it. They wanted to murder these individuals since they believed that it was the only way to wash back their shame and gain respect. Then while waiting for Omar, Alih saw Fermina sitting on the float. And then suddenly, Omar arrived and he was drunk. His brother came to Fermina, but Alih blocked his way and killed his brother. He was protecting Fermina. It came to his mind that it does not apply to his white horse. The most important thing from him is the woman he loved. And that will be all for our session today. Stay tuned for the next video of It's Analysis Time. Thank you and goodbye.